join this on my phone, will it be able to do the camera and everything?
I think so, yeah.
I might try to do that. So give me just a sec. I'll be back. But you guys go
Okay.
ahead. Don't like wait up for me or anything. I'll be right back.
Sure thing. All right, well, welcome everybody. We're here for another weekly edition of the Merkabah Study Group from the Mystery School Third Eye Horizon TV. What's up? Everybody can say hi to the viewers.
Hello.
What up, viewers?
Okay, I'm being told my face cannot be seen. Well, that's okay. I don't think the camera's on my face anyway.
Oh, we can see you now.
Excellent. Great.
I see
Yeah, Breezy. Thank you. Yeah, if you could go ahead and share me the link to the YouTube live broadcast, and I can share that around. Cool. So I am doing my first broadcast from my cell phone. Really kicking it up a notch, stepping into a more journalist mode. Okay, so brief description for those who are just tuning in or have not joined us before. Our class here is to research the science and information behind what is called the Merkabah light body. And this idea, it goes back for many thousands of years. It's at the root of many very ancient religions and is defined as the vehicle of ascension. So what does that mean? There's a lot of talk about ascending, the whole idea of ascending, raising our consciousness to dimensions of consciousness. You know, the Merkabah has everything to do with that. So this class dives into that, and it's really open. People can pipe in with their own thoughts. We encourage people to share any thoughts that are relevant to Merkabah, or even just more broader metaphysical information that we may want to discuss. It's a very open class, you know. So that's it. I think everybody here knows each other, although Victor's new. If you guys want, you can go ahead and do a brief introduction of yourselves, tell the viewers and each other who you are, and maybe a little bit about yourself. You want to kick it off, Brittany?
I'm Brittany, and I basically study yoga and a nutrition path, which has a strong focus on Ayurvedic medicine. I like to practice piano and sing and do fire things, and yeah, that's a little brief overview. Passing it on.
Cool. CeeLo, Shannon, you want to go ahead real quick?
Yeah. My name is Christopher Salamon Clausen. I host a radio show and podcast for Project Bring Me to Life, Thursday through Sunday. And I first learned about the Merkabah alongside Nick Bryce in 2012 at the 3 Days of Light Festival when Phoenix taught the Merkabah workshop. And it's a profound thing, so I'm interested in it. And I think Nick's been doing a really great job of keeping it going. He's been doing Merkabah activations since then, so very proud of him.
My name is
Thank
Shannon.
you, CeeLo.
Yep.
Yeah. My name is Shannon. I co-create Project Bring Me to Life and the Crystal Chalice Awards with CeeLo. and I am an artist. I run an art shop in my hometown. I learned about Merkabah at an event called Frequinox, I believe. Nick actually led the workshop. It was pretty crazy. We were on top of a barn, and there was a lot of breath work involved, and it really just changed my
Oh
perspective.
wow, yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy Merkabah. But yeah, it intrigued me, so I'm here.
Awesome. Great. Well, yeah, I'll say real quick, Merkabah is something that I've researched for the past 4, maybe going on 5 years, and have had the privilege to be able to experience what was called the Merkabah light body activation, and very similar to a Kundalini awakening. It's one of those sorts of experiences that certainly rocks your world and drives you down a more radical spiritual path. I was currently seeking and going down that path, but it absolutely was life-changing, and felt that the world really needed to have that experience. And I myself at the time didn't really know too much about it. So 4 or 5 years from then, still figuring it out, still working on understanding the Merkabah. So it's great to have these classes, and would like to be able to archive our discussions and possibly find ways to get this information out to as many people as possible. So Breezy, if you would, please share me that link in the Hangout. Make sure you share it in the Hangout chat. Okay, I'll have to double check. Before we get started, Brittany Eden wanted to sort of lead us in some kind of meditation she's been wanting to give.
So this actually came from a book called Metatron. This is the Clarion Call by R. Mackenzie. So it was focusing on
Badass.
Merkabah. I'm just going to read it straight out of the book. So if you want to get comfortable, maybe close your eyes, take a few deep breaths.
Okay, you can, if you don't mind, share real quick to Victor. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yep,
What's going on?
Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't get my phone to do it. Yeah, that's download an app and this and that. But sorry, I'm back with just my mic. So
No problem.
We're
Yeah.
just starting a meditation.
so good. One of my favorite things to do.
Awesome. So again, this is out of a book focused on Archangel Metatron. It's called This is the Clarion Call. We're going to get seated or lay down, however's comfortable for you. Just make sure that your chest is nice and elongated so you can expand a little bit. Begin by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep that breath going. We're going to do a couple of visualization exercises. So picture 2 three-sided pyramids. One is pointing up and the other is pointing down, intersecting with each other. Picture them spinning in opposite directions. It doesn't matter which direction they're spinning, only that they're spinning in opposite directions. Picture this, make it a vivid picture in your mind. Watch it spinning. Now picture yourself in the middle of this double pyramid. This is your Merkabah. This is the basic shape that taps into the geometry of the universe in order to let you explore the matrix of creation, in order to let you explore your higher self. First of all, picture this. Picture yourself sitting in a double pyramid. Take a deep breath in, hold, and breathe out to the very end of your breath and hold. Only hold for a couple of seconds at first, and then breathe in, breathe out, and hold. While you're breathing in this manner, picture your double pyramid spinning around you. Now put your concentration into the point of your third eye. Bring the picture of your double pyramid with you inside it into the place of your third eye. Now picture a cord going from your third eye to your heart chakra. Picture this as a golden cord. All the while breathing in slowly, holding at the top of your breath, breathing out, holding at the bottom of your breath while picturing this. Hold this vision. Now expand the love from your heart chakra while picturing this in your third eye. Feel this love and expand this as a bubble of golden love from your heart chakra. All the love you've ever felt in your lifetime for parents, guardians, siblings, lovers, children, friends, the planet, conceptions, all of the love. Expand this from your heart chakra. Free this love. Be in this place of expanded love. Feel this love going up the cord to your third eye where your Merkabah is seated. So whenever you guys are ready, you can begin to come back. The meditations in this book kind of go in stages, so they build off of each other. And there's a few of them in the book.
Wow, that was very powerful. Coming back from that, I feel all
It's very refreshing.
dizzy. In a good way. Awesome. Well, thank you, Brittany. Is there more to your meditation? And what was the name of that book again?
It's called Metatron. This is the clarion call. If you want, I can type up the meditation itself and I'll post it in the group. And like I said, they go in stages. So it's just using that imagery and then it begins building off of it for the next one. Because, you know, as we practice a meditation, as we practice a visualization, it becomes easier for us to get to that picture right away. And so we can reach this meditation in the matter of, you know, just a few seconds, maybe if we practice it a little bit and then go further with it each time. So maybe something we do in the upcoming weeks.
Looking forward to that.
Yay.
Cool. How was that experience for everybody? Quick temperature
Very nice.
check.
Very nice. It's nice to like just clear your mind for a second. Get some good breathing in.
Yeah, I can definitely feel the energy from over here. I definitely felt really powerful. My third eye started tingling, especially when you mentioned bringing the Merkabah up to the third eye. And then I was like, whoa, it's already tingling. This is crazy.
Awesome. All right. CeeLo, Shannon, any feedback on that?
Definitely helped open my third eye, and took me back to, I don't know, I just had this memory of when I was in Hawaii during the meditation, and it felt really crazy. So definitely powerful meditation for sure.
Yeah, I think it explained the visuals very well.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Shannon. I cut you off.
I was just saying, I think it explained the visual aspect of it very well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Felt like we were starting to take off, like through our Merkabahs. We were starting to travel through dimensions and universes.
Beautiful. Yeah, CeeLo, I remember you talking about that meditation in Hawaii. Is that the one where you were visualizing the tribe of people, having them, they were having you drink some drink that you threw up, and you might be talking about another one. I'm sure you meditated quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a pretty powerful meditation, and it was during a supermoon, and so that was pretty wild. But it just took me to a moment in Hawaii when kids kicked sand at me, and then they ended up getting to know me and ended up finding out I was a good person.
Wow. I never heard that part of the story. Oh my God. Who would do that? All right. So one thing I need to do, there's a PDF of a book that we've been reading in this class. It's called the Mystical Kabbalah. And the reason why we're reading that book is because there's been a lot of references made to the Kabbalah study that has a lot to do with Merkabah, apparently. So we're going to the roots of the Merkabah. We're starting there and expanding our search. That's okay. Thank you. Well, I need to share the PDF of that book to you and Shannon, CeeLo, and Victor. And yeah, the whole idea, we just want to probe the Kabbalah and see what we find. What we've been learning is that it creates a really strong foundation for metaphysical research. Reading this book, and the Merkabah certainly is all about metaphysical science and spirituality. So as I get that PDF, Brittany, would you mind kicking it off? Would that be any issue?
I also posted a link in our group chat right here. So we were on chapter 3, correct?
That's right.
So did we want to do a recap? Have you guys read up on chapters 1 and 2?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it was basically just putting into perspective, as Nick was saying, that we're studying the Kabbalah because of the symbolism, and the book was stating that, you know, meditating on these symbols brings us into the intention of the person who created the symbol, but also that these symbols get stronger as our consciousness evolves because more people are collectively putting their intentions and their experiences into these symbols as well. So it was basically explained as a path to enlightenment through study, and it was stated that we should choose the path that we're going to go on rather than dabbling here and there and here and there. And I know that's a bit of a trend right now, even for myself. With all of this information available to us, it's easy to only make it so far on one path and not really dive into the deeper aspects of it. So yeah, we also have videos on chapters 1 and 2 on Nick's YouTube channel. But I'm going to go ahead and get started on chapter 3 if there's nothing you want to add.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Chapter 3, the method of the Kabbalah. And if anybody has anything to say, go ahead and jump in. That's what we did the last episode that we did, and it went really well because we could kind of debate things or tell our personal experiences or like why that was really sticking out to us at the time. So go ahead and interrupt if you feel so compelled. Chapter 3, the method of the Kabbalah. Speaking of the method of the Kabbalah, one of the ancient rabbis say that an angel coming down to earth would have to take on human form in order to converse with men. The curious symbol system known to us as the Tree of Life is an attempt to reduce to diagrammatic form every force and factor in the manifested universe and the soul of man, to correlate them one to another and reveal them spread out as on a map so that the relative positions of each unit can be seen and the relations between them traced. The Tree of Life is a compendium of science, psychology, philosophy, and theology. The student of the Kabbalah goes to work in exactly the opposite way to the student of natural science. The latter builds up synthetic concepts. The former analyzes abstract concepts. It goes without saying, however, that before a concept can be analyzed, it must first be assembled. Someone must have thought out the principles that are resumed in the symbol, which is the object of meditation of the Kabbalists. Who then were the first Kabbalists to build up the whole scheme? The rabbis are unanimous upon this point. They were angels. In other words, it was beings of another order of creation than humanity who gave the chosen people their Kabbalah. To the modern mind, this may seem as absurd a statement as the doctrine that babies are found under gooseberry bushes. But if we study the many mystical systems of comparative religion, we find that all the Illuminati are in agreement upon this point. All men and women who have practical experience of the spiritual life tell us that they are taught by divine beings. We shall be very foolish if we altogether disregard such a cloud of witness, especially those of us who have never had any personal experience of the higher states of consciousness. I'm going to pass this along to whoever wants to start at number 4.
Great. Yeah, I have almost... Okay, here it is. I have the PDF. I'm just going to share that in the Hangout link for people if they're interested in joining us a little bit into chapter 3.
Brittany already beat you.
Yeah. Oh, you already got it? You shared it?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Great. Yeah, if anybody would like to open that link and take a look if they're feeling it. Otherwise, I can take it over.
Popcorn Nick.
Okay. Can you point me to where we're at?
We're at the top of page 14 at number 4, chapter 3.
Great. Okay. All right. There are some physiologists who will tell us that the angels of the Kabbalists and the gods and manas of order systems are our own repressed complexes. There are others with less limited outlook who will tell us that these divine beings are the latent capacities of our own higher selves. To the devotional mystic, this is not a point of any great moment. He gets his results, and that is all he cares about. But the philosophical mystic in other words, the occultists thinks the matter out and arrives at certain conclusions. These conclusions, however, can only be understood when we know what we mean by reality and have a clear line of discrimination between the subject and the objective, or subjective and the objective. Anyone who is trained in the philosophical methods knows that this is asking a good deal. The Indian schools, so the philosophical essentially being the occult sounding, which is just information. What is the definition of occult, by the way? I think it's like, I looked it up the other day. I can't remember it off the top of my head. It's got a negative-ish kind of connotation to it sometimes, but it's just basically, from what I believe I gathered, just metaphysical information, or information that's not, or kept by a few sometimes. Anyways, can you guys hear me? I'm not sure if this
I did pull up the definition of the occult if you want me to read it.
I spaced out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says
Go ahead.
The occult, let's see, from Latin word occultus, clandestine, hidden, secret, is knowledge of the hidden. In common English usage, occult refers to knowledge of the paranormal as opposed to knowledge of the measurable, usually referred to as science. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Victor. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like sometimes when people throw around the word occult, it means like something, some kind of mysticism or like
Spooky
Satanism. Yes, witchcraft. All the, it just gets twisted up and misused. All right, so I'm gonna continue on with number 5 here. It says, the Indian schools of metaphysics have most elaborate and intricate systems of philosophy which attempt to define these ideas and render them thinkable. The thought generates of seers have given their lives to the task. The concept will remain so abstract that it is only after a long course of discipline called yoga in the East that the mind is able to apprehend them at all. I know it's kind of, I didn't read very much, but I'd like to share this live stream to a couple people. I'm going to go ahead and popcorn it to anybody. Victor, do you happen to have this PDF? Would you be comfortable?
Is there a link? I don't think I do.
Yeah, Brittany shared it in the Hangout chat.
Yeah, it's not in my chat anymore because I left and came back. Sorry, guys. If you want to throw it up again, I wouldn't mind. I mean, honestly. There it is. All right.
Okay, great.
Okay, so yeah, and it's better to read along when I have it. So what page are we on? I'm going to scroll down.
We're on number 6 on page 14.
Okay.
Oh, and I just wanted to make a little comment there too. When I was reading through this part, I was just kind of giggling to myself because it was talking about how we're not able to really comprehend these images until we discipline ourselves to a certain point. But it seemed to me that they were giving us kind of a shortcut, we don't have to comprehend it, but we can still reach that state of consciousness by meditating on it. And I was like, wow, this is great. Because really, I don't need to comprehend everything. I'm really only after the results that it produces in my life and the life of people around me. I was like, thank God, pretty much. Onwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably why. Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. I just found the page and number 6. You guys, oh yeah, you guys just read the Indian schools of metaphysics have the most elaborate and intricate systems, so on and so forth.
So it says. I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually worked for a lot of Indian people. Actually, my boss in my first job is Hindi. She follows the Vedic, and she's very, very preachy lady. But she says a lot of very, very amazing things to me, and she's always trying to like give me like wise words, you know. She's like, "Oh, Victor, you know, this happened to you because of this. If you just blankety blank," you know, and she just has some kind of very cool phrase, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's really nice, thank you," you know. So do you guys want me to read number 6?
Yeah, I'll say real quick too. Just the thought popped in my mind of why people say that they meditate and focus on the tree of life. You know, like you said, Brittany, just taking in the symbols can help us download the information somehow. So that's the thought that popped in my head. So.
All right.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Whoever, Victor, whenever.
Okay. The Kabbalist goes to work in a different way. He does not attempt to make the mind rise up on the wings of metaphysics into the rarefied air of abstract reality. He formulates a concrete symbol that the eye can see and lets it represent the abstract reality that no untrained human mind can grasp. Should I keep going? I don't know if I should stop.
Whoever's reading, you know, can go as long as they want, and that's it. To whatever your comfort.
Okay. It is exactly the same principle as algebra. Let x represent the unknown quantity, let y represent the half of x, and let z represent something we know. If we begin to experiment with y to find out its relation to z, and in what proportions, it soon ceases to be entirely unknown. We have learned something at any rate about it. And if we are sufficiently skillful, we may in the end be able to express y in terms of z, and then we shall begin to understand x. Huh. Sorry, I'm trying to grasp.
No, yeah. Take it in.
I'm not an algebra guy, but I'm they say, yeah. Well, I'm going to go on. There are
go right ahead.
There are a great many symbols which are used as objects of meditation. The cross in the Christendom, the god forms in the Egyptian system, phallic symbols in other faiths. These symbols are used by the uninitiated as a means of concentrating. Yeah, I think that's a typo. The mind, and introducing into it certain thoughts, called up certain associated ideas, and stimulating certain feelings. The initiate, however, uses a symbol system differently. He uses it as an algebra by means of which he will read the secrets of unknown potencies. In other words, he uses the symbol as a means of guiding thought into the unseen and incomprehensible, excuse me. All right. So I'm trying to gather what we just read here.
Sure. Yeah, I kind of was preoccupied while you were saying the X and Y and Z thing. Was like, oh wow.
Yeah, and the relation, the proportions to one another. It was a little out there. I had to read it twice, actually. Like, I had to kind of look over it again after I read it. I mean, it's very profound, it seems. I would like to get more into that sometime.
Yes. Let X represent the unknown quality. Let Y represent the half of X. Represent something we know. Yeah,
Well,
that
I
sounds
don't
like
think we necessarily have to figure out like what X is in that situation. But I see myself doing the same thing when I do like tarot readings. So basically, a tarot card is just a concept, but I know that water, Nick being a water sign, is associated with like intuition and
That's right.
emotion and sensitivity and deepness. Then I can get a better feel for what this card is trying to point me to. So it's just using symbols to kind of come to a conclusion about something. We do the same thing with astrology. We can kind of categorize all Leos in a certain category, and that doesn't mean that X always equals the same thing. It just means that we have like a starting point to begin to figure it out. That doesn't mean that I'm 100% full Leo 100% of the time, but it means we can start to understand it, you know? It's just another system of symbols.
Right.
very well said. Awesome. So yeah, we can talk about that more. Or you can come back and watch the YouTube video whenever at our own times, and we'll be able to take notes and write books. Who knows? So.
Nick's pushing the ebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
It goes deeper into it too. I've already read ahead this chapter, so because that's
Yeah,
the person I am.
There's good work, Brittany. She's the all-star student. There's a couple pages left. Let's see if we can get through them, and we'll see. Possibly we can get into the other chapter a tiny bit. We'll see. Okay, Victor, would you like to continue or hand it off to somebody else?
I don't mind, unless somebody else wants to read. All right, I'll continue.
All right, sure.
Let's see.
Thank you. You're the man.
So, it says, and how does he do this? He does this by using a composite symbol. A symbol which is unattached unit would not serve his purpose. In contemplating such a composite symbol as the tree of life, he observes that there are definite relations between its parts. There are some parts which he knows something. There are others which he can intuit.
Mm-hmm.
Something, or more crudely, make a guess, reasoning from first principles. The mind leaps from one known to another known, and in doing so, traverses certain distances. Metaphorically speaking, it is like a traveler in the desert who knows the situation of two oases and makes a forced march between them. He would never have dared to push out into the desert from the first oasis if he had not known the location of the second. But at the end of his journey, he not only knows much more about the characteristics of the second oasis, but he has also observed the country lying between them. Thus, making forced marches from his oasis to oasis, backwards and forwards across the desert, he gradually explores it. Nevertheless, the desert is incapable of supporting life. So is this the Kabbalistic system of notation? The things it renders are unthinkable, and yet the mind, tracking from symbol to symbol, manages to think about them. And although we have to be content to see it in a glass darkly, yet we have every reason to hope that ultimately we shall see face to face and know even as we are known. For the human mind grows by exercise, and that which was at first as unthinkable as mathematics to the child who cannot manage his sums finally comes within the range of our realization. By thinking about a thing, we build concepts of it. I think that's awesome. It is said that thought grew out of language, not language out of thought. The words are to thought, symbols are to intuition. Curious as it may seem, the symbol precedes the elucidation, I assume. That is why we declare that Qabalah is a growing system, not a historic monument. There is more to be got out of Kabbalic symbols today than there was in the time of old dispensation, because our mental content is richer in ideas. How much more, for instance, does Safira Yasad, I'm not sure if that's how I pronounce it, wherein work the forces of growth and reproduction, mean to biologists. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, my screen is like hard to follow. It's like
no, it's cool.
It's a little in front of me, and I wear glasses that are broken. Then
I
to
was
the
butchering
ancient.
it earlier, so
Yeah. Let's
so
see.
yeah, it's all good. I think you're doing just fine, man. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. Okay, I'll start back from the beginning of the last sentence. Everything that has to do with growth and reproduction is resumed in the sphere of the moon. But this sphere, as represented by the tree of life, is set about the paths leading to our other Sephiroth. Therefore, the biological Kabbalist knows that there must be certain definite relationships between the forces subsumed in the Yasad and those represented by the symbols assigned to these paths. Brooding over these symbols, he gets a glimpse of relationships that do not reveal themselves when the material aspect of things is considered. And when he comes to work these out in the material of his studies, he finds therein are hidden important clues. And so upon the tree, one thing leads to another. Explanation of hidden causes arising out of the proportions and relations of the various individual symbols composing this mighty synthetic glyph. Each symbol, moreover, admits of interpretation upon the different planes, and through its astrological associations can be related to the gods of any pantheon, thus opening up vast new fields of implication in which mind ranges endlessly, symbol leading on to symbol in an unbroken chain of associations, symbol confirming symbol, as the many branching threads gather themselves together in the synthetic glyph once more, and each symbol capable of interpretation in terms of whatever plane the mind may be functioning upon.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Can anybody hear me?
Oh wow. That was kind of loud.
Hello?
Dude.
Yeah, you're coming in a little feedbacky.
Coming in hot?
Yeah, you were.
Sorry. For some reason, like I tried to say something last time, but the mic was being weird, being weirdy.
You weirdy. Oh.
Yeah. But I would like to read too.
Great. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Am I still hot?
No, you're good now.
I think it sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
if Victor wants to popcorn it over to you.
Yeah, dude, go for it.
I don't popcorn. Okay. When are we on 13?
13.
Okay. This mighty, all-embracing glyph of the soul of man and of the universe, by virtue of its logical association of symbols, evokes images in the mind. But these images are not randomly evolved, but follow along well-defined association tracks in the universal mind. The symbol of the tree is to the universal mind what the dream is to the individual ego. It is a glyph synthesized from subconsciousness to represent the hidden forces. The universe is really a thought form projected from the mind of God. The Kabbalistic tree might be likened to a dream picture arising from the subconscious of God
and dramatizing the subconscious content of deity. In other words, if the universe is the conscious end product of the mental activity of the Logos, the tree is the symbolic representation of the raw material of the divine consciousness and of the processes whereby the universe came into being. But the tree applies not only... Oh, hang on a second, I lost my place.
Very deep on the whole idea.
Trees.
Cool.
But the tree applies not only to the macrocosm, but to the microcosm, which, as all occultists realize, is a replica in miniature. It is for this reason that divination is possible. That little understood and much maligned art has for its philosophical basis the system of correspondences represented by symbols. The correspondences between the soul of man and the universe are not arbitrary, but arise out of developmental identities. Certain aspects of consciousness were developed in response to certain phases of evolution and therefore embody the same principles. Consequently, they react to the same influences. A man's soul is like a lagoon connected with the sea by a submerged channel. Although to all outward seeming it is landlocked, nevertheless its water level rises and falls with the tides of the sea because of the hidden connection. So it is with human consciousness. There is a subconscious connection between each individual soul and the world soul, deep hidden in the most primitive depths of subconsciousness. And in consequence, we share in the rise and fall of the cosmic tides.
I love that.
Yeah, the lagoon being connected to the ocean, having the same reactions, and not knowing that the ocean exists. That's resonates with me. Fantastic. CeeLo, you have such a soothing voice, man.
You know, I was
I appreciate it.
during this earlier part, just this time, I didn't have this association when I read it before. But when I lived in Texas, it was kind of a thing to go to art galleries on the weekend because there was like so much art there. There's so many people that live there that you could just go from one gallery to another and just experience all of these different artists and make like a whole night out of it if you wanted to. But I was kind of having like a little flashback to going to all of these art galleries, and I feel like we're all practicing the same thing that I practice when I read my tarot cards, the same thing that it's showing us here, being able to extract the meaning out of the symbols. Like that's really all that you're doing when you go to an art gallery. You know, you look at one piece and you say, well, this is what I feel because of it, or maybe the artist was feeling this way, or this is what I notice inside of this. So it's really interesting to me to see all of the ways that this pops up in our life.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's finish up this chapter. There's a couple paragraphs left. CeeLo, do you want to finish her off?
Yeah.
Or Shannon? Shannon, if you're still there.
Shannon, do you want to read?
I'm gonna let CeeLo read.
Shannon doesn't want to read.
I can't see the
Fair enough.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Roger Dodger. Each symbol upon the tree represents a cosmic force or a cosmic factor. When the mind concentrates upon it, it comes into touch with that force. In other words, I think that surface channel, a channel in consciousness, has been made between the conscious mind of the individual and a particular factor in the world soul. And through this channel, the waters of the ocean pour into the lagoon. The aspirant who uses the tree as his meditation symbol establishes point by point the union between his soul and the world soul. This results in a tremendous access of energy to the individual soul. It is this which endows it with magical powers. But just as the universe must be ruled by God, so must the many-sided soul of man be ruled by its God, the spirit of man. The higher self must dominate its universe, or there will be unbalanced force. Each factor will rule its own aspect, and they will war among themselves. Then do we have the rule of the kings of Edom, whose kingdoms are unbalanced force. Thus do we see in the tree a glyph of the soul of man and the universe, and in the legends associated with it, the history of the evolution of the soul and the way of initiation.
Awesome.
Ocean
And chapter 3.
Nice.
Yeah. I love that a higher self must dominate its universe, or it will be an imbalanced force. And comparing it to warring, probably with the ego and your spirit, over balance. That's yeah. Excellent. Very, very, very awesome. I love, man, just a little further back how it talked about the tree being essentially just like the universal, just like the essence of the universe, essentially, and comparing that to how for humans, like the tree would be like our dreams. So our dreams feeling like this are just like infinite in their potential, and just creating just looking at the symbol of the tree, I suppose it makes me feel like if that is the nature of the universe or some kind of structure, it looks pretty strong. Like the structure itself, like it would hold really strong under pressure, and the elements and all sorts of things like that. That's what
Symbols.
my thoughts on that, I suppose.
Symbols have been used as far back as we've known man existed, and it supposedly always have been thought to hold power. I mean, I don't know if you guys know about Eldrith Futhark, even old Latin, but supposedly the symbols in these old languages, or even hieroglyphs, a lot of them hold a lot of power, and they used to use them for rituals and things like this to invoke. So apparently symbols are very important. I mean, I know we're also talking about symbology as well. I understand that, not just symbols themselves, but anyways.
No, absolutely.
So you guys usually read through these the Qabalah and things about the Qabalah.
Yeah, that's
the Merkabah.
Right, that's our jump off, is this book, just going through this. However, it's open to the curriculum essentially being guided through the people that are a part of the class. So I don't know if we could read passages from other books, we could read websites, we could watch videos. It just depends on where the enthusiasm is. I felt really called to this book. I felt like just like intuitively this book was special, and just without me being able to like completely articulate it, I felt like many things were pointing that this book was supposed to be the book that we read. Like I give the example, like Brittany and I both have this same book, and it's a really obscure book. And I had a dream about researching the Kabbalah. I was told to research the Kabbalah. Brittany was in it. Just some other weird things about the book. I could probably give other examples. Just a lot of reinforcement behind Merkabah having its roots in Kabbalah.
Do you know anything about
Zach
Merkabah?
randomly gave me a pin last winter that was the Tree of Life, and he's like, I don't know what this means, but it looks like something you would like.
Yeah, not surprising. What was that, Shannon?
I was asking Victor if he knew what a Merkabah in general was.
Just the idea of Merkabah. I haven't studied in depthly or anything like that, but the somewhere, what is it? It's the portal between the soul and the body, something like that.
Yeah, basically. It's supposed to help you kind of teleport from, well, I see it as like teleporting from your physical body to like your soul body. Seal and I actually watched Avatar: The Last Airbender off like 3 or 4 seasons of it recently. And
I've seen the whole first. I've seen the whole thing actually.
so when he goes,
I love that show. It's so
when he goes into his avatar state, you know how he like meditates really hard and he kind of puts himself in his air element bubble.
yeah, and he somehow transforms. Yeah, and in the end
Into the avatar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I see the Merkabah as. You're putting yourself in this bubble, which is usually pictured as 2 triangular shapes to make the intersecting triangle. And it kind of teleports you to your avatar form where you can talk to your higher self and kind of access information or downloads that you might not normally access. If you've never experienced the Merkabah activation, I think this is a perfect excuse for Nick to maybe lead a Merkabah activation for people who are listening that also do not know what one is. Personally, I think that would be good.
I was in martial arts for a long time. And we used to do a lot of meditations and things like that. My senseis always studied meditation of different types. And I got to say that I've come to some pretty spiritual places meditating where you just get so you get this like huge buzz and you feel like this energy like out of all of your pores. It's pretty amazing. You can, that is. But I always do tell people that I try to always be my higher self and so on and so forth. I think it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, Shannon, I was thinking about doing the breath work this week, but I will say I would like to have us do that at some point. I've got the video of the Merkabah breathwork exercise, and there's the Mystery School Facebook group, which Victor, we could add you to if you're interested.
I would love that.
The whole idea is that this is a part of a series where people can essentially have classes, and we can talk about all kinds of different esoteric, occult, spiritual, anything really with raising consciousness, which could be like social consciousness with like political science, social justice, or higher consciousness, theory behind like ascending to fifth dimensional consciousness, all kinds of stuff. Probably sounds crazy, but
probably sounds like all the stuff I like to talk about too often.
Great. Well, you are in the right place. So yeah, Shannon, you really put an image to Merkabah very well. You know what? I really should put. I love the Project Bring Me to Life's description of Merkabah on your website. I should probably share that, just for people that are interested, because you got a lot of the right information all put together.
Yeah, you can find it at projectprimitivelife.com under the articles section.
Yeah, fantastic. Eventually, we'll have to get that up on the Third Eye Horizon website. It's taking a little bit to.
Is that a group
There's a lot of stuff going on. No, I bought a domain name and we're putting it together.
Oh, cool.
But eventually we'll get to that point. Want to be releasing some blogs, and this project Third Eye Horizon actually is to be a independent media company that has conscious content. So we're going to show. This is sort of like a programming block that would be for that, and conscious music, some other shows. Just news article, like some journalist sort of stuff on just raising consciousness in general. Could somebody tell me what time it is, if you would not mind?
9.
Looks like 9 o'clock.
Sure.
Did you guys have anything else to comment on the book itself? We could probably turn the live feed off.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good too. I love it. I think that really puts it together. Puts the images in our heads real good of, say, like the lagoon and the ocean, comparing that to just consciousness and us being separate, feeling separate, and that we're connected to something bigger. I think that's really important of a picture to paint, and even for those of us who feel that, that's sort of like, aha, yeah, that's a fantastic example. Kind of cool. Yeah, I really wanted to show some videos, but I don't think I'm gonna do it this week. Does anybody have any topics that they'd like to discuss? Anything that we can possibly share to some kind of thought or idea regarding Merkabah or metaphysics? Or
You should do the video.
yeah. Okay, well, yeah, the video, maybe we can close with that. It talks about the study. So essentially our forefathers of Merkabah research, they're called Merkabah mystics, and it was a branch of the Kabbalistic research, or the Kabbalistic mystics, and they were persecuted actually by the Jewish religion for being a little too ahead of their time, it seems like, because they really researched the phenomenon in the Bible of Ezekiel's experience with the Merkabah, which they depicted as wheels within wheels, and it had these eyeballs, the wheels did. I like to describe it as something that kind of looks sort of like Alex Gray, you know? But yeah, the Hebrews just didn't really like that they were researching how to get to God, and were afraid that they would get to God before everyone else. So they went underground for thousands of years. So essentially the video that I had is somebody just talking about the Merkabah mystics, and also referring them to chariot mystics, because the definition, or another name that goes in tandem with Merkabah, is to describe it as the chariot of fire, or some call it the chariot of ascension.
Hey,
So yeah, there's some.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you guys think that the way that you lead your life will influence your I don't know, Merkabah, your even flow, your balance? Do you think it affects your energy, the way you live?
I think so, 100%.
Yes.
Yes, law of attraction.
Yeah,
But at the
because
same
in essence, oh, sorry, go ahead, Brittany.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I don't think the way that you live your life like prevents you from getting to that point. Because there were a lot of things that I needed to still take care of and improve in my life. And I still got to that point with Nick facilitating. So I think it was more about having that experience and building more of the good inside of myself. It's not that any of my misdeeds in the past prevented me from being there. It's that that experience changed my life at that point.
Right. Was this sort of an epiphany kind of moment?
For myself, it really was. I think it was maybe the third or the fourth Merkabah
Yeah.
activation that I had my Kundalini awakening. But even before then, leading up to it, I can associate it now with the beginning stages of that, just that influx of energy, just kind of clearing out all of my channels.
So I do feel that that the I've been trying, and I think a lot of people try to do this. They try to connect to what they think God is, or they try to invoke Holy Spirit, which is like the conglomerate of energy that flows between everything, or whatever people want to call it, in whatever religion that they're in. But find myself always trying to connect to like the greaterness, the thing that's much larger than us, that we're a fragment of. And like it was talking about oceans into lagoons, there's just it's so much larger than us, and to tap into it is so overwhelming. Still, I don't think I've reached a point in my life that I've been able to say that I've achieved any kind of nirvana or anything like that. Though I have a great peace of mind a lot of times, I do definitely think I have a lot of work to go. But I do think that the way people, I think people have to have a clear conscience in order to really meditate and truly accept themselves. Because I think people who do things that they know are just like messed up, like people who like intentionally or maliciously hurt people and things like that, those things have to weigh down on their soul, in my opinion. Yeah, I think intentions rule all. And so I think maybe the way people do lead their lives in some one way or another may affect their use of Merkabah, or their journey to nirvana.
For sure. I'm going to make another Avatar reference. You've seen
Nice.
all of the Avatars. We just finished this, so it's really vivid in my mind. But if you know, in like the last season or so, he's trying to connect to his Avatar state, or go into like his Merkabah, to his higher self. And he's with the little shaman guy in the air temple, and the shaman's walking him through, and he gives like the coolest description of the chakra system. If you haven't seen that episode, or if you have, you should go back and watch it. Seal has a meditation.
Season 3, episode 19.
Yeah, Seal also has a meditation. Well, he has a meditation that has chakra explanation in it, and it's like a really cool meditation where Aang and the guru are walking you through each chakra, and he explains how each chakra is like a pond, a river, and it goes and flows into another body of water. But if there's just like one piece of moss blocking the rock, like you can't flow into the other chakra. But anyway, he gets to the last chakra where he then would connect to his Merkabah and go into Avatar state. And the guru tells him he has to be able to let go of all of his earthly connections to be able to travel to his higher self and use his Merkabah, basically. And the main thing he's connected to is Katara, which is the female in the cartoon. Right. And he doesn't want to let go of her. But in the earlier explanation of the chakras, one of them is explained as fear. And like you said, like the fear, or like the guilt of doing something. And it shows the avatar and like his connection to when he left the air kingdom the first time. And it's kind of like that clicked with me when you said if someone's like beating somebody up or hurting somebody or like just putting that bad energy out, like that's something they have to let go to get through the lower chakras and open up their Merkabah or their Kundalini. Like Brittany said, she had her Kundalini awakening during one of her Merkabahs, because you have to access all of those points within yourself and your physical body to let go and go into your spiritual body to connect to your avatar, in which when you connect to your avatar and you're in that spiritual connection, you really do kind of have the ability to alter your game or your reality of life. And I think that's what the book was saying, when it's like, when you connect X with Y, then you'll understand how to manipulate X, blah, blah, blah. Once you get there, you can then change whatever direction in the game you're going. You can alter your virtual map. But you have to be able to let go of all of those connections to your physical self, because your self doesn't exist anymore. You're then your higher energy. So even though it's weighing them down, if they could be the worst person, but if they can let go of that connection of what they've done in the physical self, they may still be able to access it. They just have to have that kind of ego, I guess, to let go of everything.
Right, or make peace.
Yeah, sorry, that was kind of like a rant there, but I had to make all the connections.
A lot of good references. Actually, that was really cool. The chakras and rivers flowing from one to another and the blockage. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, you should check out CeeLo's meditation. I'm sure he has it online somewhere, or Ken put it somewhere.
It's on SoundCloud. It's on SoundCloud. It's called Pools of Energy.
And
Sound Healing by my name.
Yeah, and it has
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. I just talk about it. Just has the guru explaining it with Aang, and like we did that with a room full of like 20 people, and you could just see everybody's energy light up as Aang's voice started, because everybody kind of knew the voice, but they didn't know where from. And then when they found out it was a cartoon, they were like, "Wow, that was a great explanation of the chakras for a cartoon."
That cartoon is awesome.
It blew my mind a little bit.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, CeeLo, if you want to share that SoundCloud link in the chat, I can put it on the YouTube video after this broadcast.
Okay.
If you're interested.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That would be cool.
Wow. Yeah.
It'd be coolio.
I
Well,
have the avatars.
yeah, I hear the.
Blew my
It's
mind.
definitely worth watching. So yeah, we can start to begin to close it up. Keeping these around an hour, I feel like, are pretty good for people to watch later. So yeah, let's maybe take the next like 10-ish minutes and get some final thoughts out, and then CeeLo, if you're able to play that video on your computer and we can close it up with that video, would be extremely righteous. I think it's a really important video for this study group.
Okay. I got it ready.
The
Okay.
meditation or his video?
The video he sent me.
Cool.
Great. So yeah, again, thanks all you guys for being here. This is really great having this kind of conversation. And if any of you guys would like to, even now or here on to the future, want to insert some suggestions or just come in with it, some other materials you'd like to talk about, again, like websites, books, a clip from Avatar. It's completely we're very excited for things like that. So
Now that I know more about what this streaming is, I'll definitely have some stuff ready for next time, I think.
Awesome.
sweet. Yeah, we're glad you can make it, Victor. It's good to have you with us.
Thanks. You guys rock. I'm so glad to be part of it.
You rock.
Good job putting everything together, Nick. I'm glad we were able to join this evening.
Thank you. Years later, I remember you guys suggesting to do this kind of thing, like 2014 when I was doing it in the Universe building. So a little late to the party, but I guess better late than never, I suppose.
Fashionable.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
With a new hairdo.
Oh, baby face, Nick.
Yeah, I know. My baby face on now. Well, I wanted to say, Shannon and CeeLo, they do an awesome compilation of different shows and content to do with raising consciousness called Project Bring Me to Life. They do podcasts. They interview different spiritual teachers, artists, musicians, and they play a almost every day a week through their Spreaker, different radio shows with conscious music. And for a while they were doing live broadcasts similar to this. So definitely check it out. I don't know if you guys would like to say anything about Project Bring Me to Life while we got you on here.
Yeah. So we do the live radio is Thursday through Sunday from around somewhere in between 11 to 5. And you can check out our schedule at projectbringmetolife.com/radio. And we spell that with the number 2. So projectbringmethe2life.com/radio. You can check that out. We also have podcasts. And going to be working on getting a TV station going sometime in 2017.
Nice.
That's right.
It's pretty badass.
We also do the Chris Choss Awards where we look for nominees for that event. So if you know anyone that's a positive action in your community that's doing art, music, holistic wellness, they're like a Reiki healer, they're a crystal guide, doing flow art, a little bit of anything positive action, spiritually conscious related. We look for people to be nominated so that we can interview them for such an award.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nick and Brittany were at some of the Crystal Choss Awards, so I think they can vouch for the, I don't know, legitimateness.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So good.
definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Brittany.
I have pizza in my mouth.
Yeah, no, they do a great award ceremony, just recognizing people that are in the various fields of like conscious music art, guides, teachers, just
Flow
community
arts.
leaders. Yep, flow arts.
All the things.
Yep. So, yeah, these guys are awesome. They're out in Cumberland, Maryland, and I'm actually here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So we're a bit spread out. I know you guys are over the Detroit area.
Cool.
Awesome.
Bam.
Well, yeah, you guys go ahead if you guys would like to share any links with Project Bring Me to Life, Crystal Chalice Woods, on the Google Hangout thread. I can put it on the video for our viewers to check out later if they're interested.
Okay.
And yeah, really looking forward to seeing more in your projects, the TV station, and I know we were talking about putting together a multi-channel network through YouTube that would sort of be not necessarily Third Eye Horizon or Project Bring Me to Life. It would be bringing a bunch of content creators together to broadcast collectively, like through a network, their content, such as like Team Light or possibly Spirit Science or Paradigm Shift. And there's so many awesome like independent creators of content out there on YouTube, and just bringing them all together and not just having them be on the network, but having them be a part of the network and where they're actually running the network and weighing into the decision making. So having all the champion leaders of the raising consciousness movement just stay tuned.
Sounds like an awesome adventure.
Yeah, definitely. And who knows
Exciting.
what can happen. It recently came to a revelation of my own after I watched Doctor Strange, which I highly recommend for anybody to watch. It talks about a lot of occult and metaphysical information. Doctor Strange essentially is a surgical doctor who seeks teachings from teachers of mystic arts and learns to be not a musician, but a magician, sort of a sorcerer, and he learns how to use magic and go through alternate universes and portals. And he was talking about the critical mass and 100th monkey experience during that movie, and it just came to my mind. We teach the Merkabah light body activation as a breathwork process, and the thought just really crossed my mind that it would be awesome to really make it a point, in the coming future, to try and get as many people to do that as possible, in the hopes that we can reach some kind of critical mass of people experiencing their energy bodies and being able to reach the multidimensional state of their reality.
It will help, actually, I think.
What's that?
I think having a conglomerate will help a lot, actually.
Yeah, having everyone on the same page, being able to find lots of information.
Yeah, definitely. So this is like the Merkabah think tank right now to really further the research on just sort of rediscovering what it means, and digging through the old dusty books of what is out there on Merkabah research. So I guess with that being said, questions. Does anybody have any questions? I suppose this video I think wraps up what I just said pretty well. Talking about Merkabah mystics from thousands of years ago.
No question from here.
Doctor Strange at the drive-in.
Everybody go see that who is not. Will blow your mind.
You're talking about the new superhero movie, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I heard a lot of things about the comic book. It sounds insanely interesting. A lot of dimensional things, and yeah, a lot of strange things. I think it seems pretty awesome, though. I have been meaning to see it. When I first seen a commercial, I was like, "That is coming out." I have to see that. Eventually,
do it.
Try to get together with some friends and go to watch it.
Yeah,
I'll just go by myself. We're going on those lone adventures where you're just like whatever, and you just have your own adventure. Sometimes I go to the movies like that. I'll just go. It's a good time.
Samesies.
Let's see this video.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are awesome. Thanks again for sticking with us. Yeah, let us know if you can do that
He's working with it.
easily, CeeLo.
Sure. Let me screen share. Damn. Can you see it?
Bam, we see it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Rock and roll.
Nice.
Is the YouTube volume off?
I don't know. I can't hear.
Did you turn? Can they hear it?
I can hear it.
Okay.
You can?
I couldn't.
Oh, you couldn't? Huh.
Is your mic plugged into the computer?
Yeah.
Try unplugging your mic and letting your computer speakers play.
We have a speaker system. There's no. He's trying.
Okay.
It's kind of an experiment.
Sometimes life is lifey. So lifey.
Yeah.
We could Mystery Science Theater 3000. Just say things. Ezekiel's Ascension Chariot.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy video. Yeah, we're gonna try and get it set up on Breezy's computer as a fallback as well. Won't leave you guys hanging too long. Would you click?
While he sets it up, Brittany, how did the how's the fire dancing going?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Always fun.
you still do it every week?
Mostly we had our practice canceled on Monday because it was Halloween, but instead I got to spin fire on the edge of a really beautiful lake when it was just drizzling out, so I was like playing with all of the elements at once.
That's awesome. You're being an airbender. No, you're being a firebender. Excuse me. Waterbender. Yeah, I went to do parkour today.
Nice.
We decided to go to a spot downtown Detroit, and there was like these crazy like steps and things we got to play with. It was very, very fun. Getting better every time. It takes a lot of practice, though. It's a lot of core strength.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Parkour?
Oh, you're so funny. Oh, you.
That was super lame.
Puns are the lowest form of comedy.
Wait.
Favorite.
Hey. Not always hilarious.
Couldn't you not like puns? You know, those old punny guys.
I feel like puns are just like 1,000 times more funnier to like the person who made it and everybody else.
They're usually the one laughing the most.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so true.
Self-entertainment. Love it.
Yeah, I've been trying to get back into and this goes along with a lot of the meditation here and things like this, but my martial arts. And I think it's as simple as just going to the backyard and just practicing this stuff. You know what I mean? Because I've already been over 10 years of martial arts, so I have plenty of knowledge to go do it. I just have to physically get out there and do it.
Self-practice is way more difficult to commit to, for me at least, because I know enough yoga to do yoga at my house, but like my self-practice, I'll do maybe 20 minutes most of the time, and then it's like,
Right.
okay, I've done enough, but I'm not getting really the full effect.
Yeah, it's good to have reinforcement, I think.
Yeah. And also, I really like the group vibe of other people around you doing it, just enhancing the experience. But my self-practice, I always get a much deeper experience just because when it is good, I have the time to delve into it and nobody's like kicking me out of the room. Like, come on, next class is coming through.
Yeah, time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the video loaded up on Breezy's computer. We're going to give it a shot.
Sweet.
Great.
All right. So give it a shot. On.
Date from the 2nd century, the very period when most rabbis were organizing against mysticism, and when the early Christian church was organizing against the Gnostics. Mystics practiced what is called Merkabah, or chariot mysticism, a term that comes from Ezekiel's vision of the chariot of God. The prophet Ezekiel is the prototype of the Jewish mystic. Ezekiel 1:4 and 5 records, "The wind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst of the fire, as the color of amber, came the likeness of 4 living creatures of a man. Within the cloud he saw the chariot of God, a glowing object with huge wheels that appeared to be made of topaz, surrounded by 4 four-winged creatures. Above the creatures was a vault of the heavens that gleamed like crystal." Imagine you as Ezekiel feeling the tremendous presence of all 7 levels of the heavens. In that state of having God open himself to you. As the appearance of the rainbow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Blessed be the God of Israel. For centuries, Jewish mystics have tried to reproduce Ezekiel's experience. Born 1897, died 1982, was the contemporary authority on Jewish mysticism. He wrote for us. The Merkabah mystics occupy themselves with all the details of the upper world. It extends throughout the 7 palaces in the heaven of Aravot, the uppermost of the 7 heavens, with the angelic hosts which fill the palaces, with the rivers of fire which flow down in front of the chariot, and with the bridges which cross them. But the main purpose of the ascent is to have the vision of the one who sits on the throne, a likeness as the appearance of a man, upon it, above it. The vision of Ezekiel brings to mind the vision of the I am that I am, the Son of God, and the individual who ascends the planes of being to attain to those levels. Some Merkabah mystics had an out-of-the-body experience as they attempted to replicate the vision and the experience of Ezekiel. Others had the sensation of their whole being going on a journey. Rabbi Akiva, a 2nd century mystic, visualized himself rising to the 7 palaces and 7 thrones until he found himself standing before the throne of God. Hai Gaon, an 11th century mystic, said the experience was an inner journey to the innermost recesses of the heart. Mystics wrote poems called Merkabah hymns, in which they attempted to express the inexpressible experience of seeing God. O wreathed in splendor, crowned with crowns, O chorister of him on high, extol the Lord enthroned in flames, for in the presence of the presence, in the inmost glory of the inmost chambers, you set up your posts. Your names he distinguished from his servant's name. He surrounds a leaping fire, around him burning, glowing coals. This is the experience of a Jewish mystic, someone like you, someone like me. The rabbis opposed the practice of Merkabah mysticism on the grounds that it was dangerous. Jewish law contained warnings against trying to replicate Ezekiel's experience. The public reading of Ezekiel's vision was banned except on the festival of Shavuot. In fact, Sholem wrote, the rabbis sought to conceal the book of Ezekiel by withdrawing it from general circulation or from the biblical canon. Jewish mystics practiced Merkabah mysticism, usually in secret, for about 1,000 years. Why did the rabbis fear? They feared because the individual would make direct contact with the living God without them. It is the fear of every hierarchy, of every world religion. Those hierarchies fear you and me because we dare to come apart and have that direct experience without them. But we invite them all to come into our tent, come into the tabernacle of the Lord and rejoice with us and contact your own living God.
Awesome. So there you have it.
Very nice. Chariot of Fire.
That's the Merkabah, yep.
Beautiful.
So that was a little creepy, the video. It's like, I don't know. We can post that video on the description of this as well after we're done. But it definitely gives us a lot to think about. And my phone's dying, so I guess farewell, everybody. I think that might be the end of our broadcast.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, right. See ya.
All right. See you guys next week then.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Peace out.
Yeah. We love everybody. I guess that's
Good night, everyone. Have a great evening.
you.
What is next week's homework?
Oh, just stay tuned for chapter 4 of the Mystical Kabbalah. My phone's been shutting down for about a minute now, so that's funny.